Good morning. Welcome to class 10 ICSE Mathematics. And today we are going to learn about quadratic equations, number problems, and these are all word problems. Now, earlier video we have seen just the quadratic equations where the highest degree of the variable was 2. Now we are going to convert the word problem into a quadratic equation. Now, in order to do that, let us look at this question. Find two numbers such that their sum is 12. Their sum is 12. This is the first clue. So, we can assume let the first number equal to x. Now, if the sum is 12, the second number is going to become 12 minus x. Why? Because x plus second number is equal to 12. So second number becomes 12 minus x. Now that you got first number and the second number, let us come to the second part. The sum of their squares. So sum of squares would become the square of first number, that is x squared, plus square of the second number, which is 12 minus x, and that is how the sum of the square looks like. So now we will have the sum of the squares. This is nothing but 80, so we'll write this as 80. Now all you have to do is open the brackets. We will write x squared plus, this is a binomial and the square of that. So we apply the formula a minus b whole squared. What is a minus b whole squared? A squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So applying that, we will have a squared means 12 squared, that is 144, minus 2ab, 2 into 12 into x means 2 into 12 is 24. So that becomes minus 24x. And plus b squared means plus x squared. The square of a negative number also is positive, remember that. And that is equal to 80. Now we can take the like terms together. Can you see this x squared and x squared? So it becomes 2x squared minus 24x plus 144 minus 80 is equal to 0. Now what we have done? We have added the like terms, wrote the other terms, and this 80 we have to bring on the left hand side so that we have all the terms one side, and we'll make that equal to 0 to make a typical quadratic equation. So therefore we'll have 2x squared minus 24x, and here plus, you have to subtract 80 from 144. So that gives us 64, and that's equal to 0. Now can you see these are all even numbers, that means 2 is a common factor. So we must remove the common factor by dividing each term by the common factor. In this case, the common factor is 2. 2 is dividing this term, this term, this term, and so we'll write it divided by 2. And now after division, 2 will divide here, it becomes x squared, minus 2 will divide here, that becomes minus 12x, and 2 will divide here, that becomes plus 32, and that is equal to 0. Now this is a typical quadratic equation, and as we've learned earlier, this number is going to give us product. This multiplied by this, actually this 1, that gives you product, that is plus 32. And if the product is plus, you will get the sum of the factors as minus 12. And as you can see, we have the sum 12 means you are going to have both the numbers less than 12. So let us take 8. 8 is going to divide 32 4 times. So it will be 8 fours 32. And the sum of these two is minus 12. So both will be minus and minus. Now double check. Product of these two is plus 32. Minus it to minus becomes plus 8 fours 32. Right? Now the sum minus 8 and minus 4. If you add together you get minus 12. So we are right. So now we are going to write here this 12x as minus 8x minus 4x plus 32, and that's equal to 0. Now we'll do the grouping, and therefore you will have the common factor taken over here, x into bracket x minus 8 minus here 4 is common. Now when you take minus 4 as common, this 4x term becomes positive inside the bracket because of this negative sign. And because this is positive sign and we take it out minus 4 common, here it will be minus sign, and 4 will go in 32 8 times. So now you see it is the same thing. If you open the bracket, you should get back this. So minus 4x here and plus 32 here. So now we are on the right track. Each time you should double check. And therefore you will have x minus 8 into x minus 4, and that's equal to 0. Therefore you will have x minus 8 equal to 0 or x minus 4 equal to 0. And that is going to give you x equal to 8 or x equal to 4. Therefore the first number is equal to 8, which is x, and therefore the second number is going to be equal to 12 minus x, which is 12 minus 8, which is 4. And therefore you will see the two numbers are 8 and 4. Now as you can see, that is your answer. As you can see, we could have taken the first number to be 4. If you write first number as 4, the second number would have been 12 minus x means 12 minus 4, which is 8. So invariably we are getting the same numbers, 8 and 4, and that is our answer. Now let us come to question 2. The second question in this, we are talking about the sum of a natural number and its reciprocal. Now, natural number and its reciprocal. What do we mean by reciprocal? It is if the first number is a, then reciprocal becomes 1 upon a. If the number given is, let us say, x, then the reciprocal becomes 1 upon x. So now that we understood what is reciprocal, what will be our first statement? Let the natural number equal to x. Now understand that all natural numbers are positive. So we will not, in case we get a negative number, we will not be able to take it because in our question we have a natural number. So we need to take only the positive number. So the natural number is x. Therefore it's reciprocal. Is going to become 1 upon x. Now the sum, what does it mean by the sum? We have to add. So x plus 1 upon x, and that is given as you can see in the question, it is 26 upon 5. Now that we have this, you can either take LCM on the left hand side. If you take LCM, LCM will be x and you will get x squared plus 1, and this x squared will multiply here. Now what I normally do is, if I see a denominator and I see a denominator here also, so I will take the LCM of this and multiply each term by 5x. So out here I will get 5x squared because 5x multiplies here, plus 5x multiplies this. So if you look at it, it becomes 5x multiplied by 1 upon x. So what you get is plus 5. And that is equal to 26 upon 5 multiplied by 5x. So let us check if you can do this mentally. So it becomes 26x. Initially you could do this. If you are confused, after that you can just do mentally. So 5x multiplies x, it becomes 5x squared. 5x multiplies here, it becomes 5 because x gets cancelled, and 26 upon 5 multiplies here, so 5 get cancelled and we'll have 26x. So now that we have 5x squared I will take this x terms on the left hand side, minus 26x and plus 5 equal to 0. This becomes a quadratic equation. Now, quadratic equation has to be factorized. So, what is going to be our product? The product is going to be this multiplied by this, and we look at the sign. This is a positive term, this is a positive term. So, product is 5 into 5 means what? 25. Okay. Now, our sum is, product is positive, so you will get the sum, and the sum is minus 26, which means both the numbers are less than 26. And as you can see, this 26 is 25 into 1. So if you factorize this as 25 once 25, and because the sum is negative, both of these numbers will be negative, and those two numbers which are negative, their product is going to be positive. And so you see that we double check the product and sum, everything is right. So we continue with our next step ahead. 5x squared minus 25x minus x plus 5 equal to 0. And now you know you will do the grouping. This is very simple. 5x into bracket x minus 5. And here minus 1 will be common. So inside the signs are going to change. So it will become positive x, and this is going to become minus 5, and that is equal to 0. Now you'll see x minus 5 is common. So therefore you will have x minus 5 into 5x minus 1, and that's equal to 0. Therefore x is equal to 5, or 5x is equal to 1. Therefore you will have x is equal to 1 upon 5 here. So you have x is equal to 5 or x is equal to 1 upon 5. So we'll say therefore the natural number is equal to 5. And remember, we cannot take 1 upon 5 as a natural number because it's a fraction. Therefore, if you check back, the reciprocal of this is 1 upon 5. So 5 plus 1 upon 5, check back, you will get 26 upon 5. Okay, so this is our answer. Let us now look at question number 3. The denominator of a positive fraction. Now in question 2, we had a natural number and we made a reciprocal, so we got a fraction. Here we are given as a positive fraction, and then the denominator of the positive fraction is described as 1 more than 4 times its numerator. So 4 times the numerator, which means now I should consider numerator as x. So even before we read the next part, let us get the assumption straight. You will say let the numerator of the fraction equal to x. And so the denominator, therefore, the denominator is going to be 1 more than 4 times the numerator. What is 4 times the numerator? It is 4x, because numerator gets multiplied by 4. And 1 more than that means what? Plus 1. Now let us see what is the meaning of this. It is 4 times x and then 1 more means you add 1. So now that we are on the right track, therefore what does the fraction become? Therefore the fraction, remember it is numerator upon denominator. What is our numerator? Numerator is x. What is our denominator? It is 4x plus 1. So this is our fraction. Now let us come to the second part. The second part says if 13 is added to the numerator and 13 is subtracted from the denominator. So we take the fraction, it is x upon 4x plus 1, and now we subtract 13 from the denominator and 13 is added to the numerator. So we will do 13 added to numerator. So we'll do plus 13 here. And 13 subtracted from the denominator, we will subtract 13 here. Now once this becomes, what does it become? It becomes the reciprocal. See what does it become? It becomes reciprocal. What is our fraction? X upon 4x plus 1. What will be the reciprocal of this? It will be 4x plus 1 upon x. What does reciprocal mean? The denominator will become numerator and numerator will become denominator. Now let us continue with this. So this becomes x plus 13 and now in the denominator it is 4x minus 12 and that is equal to 4x plus 1 upon x. After this, all we have to do is simplify, means what? Cross multiply. So you will have x into x plus 13 and that is equal to 4x minus 12 into 4x plus 1. And so you will have therefore x squared plus 13x is equal to, now binomial with binomial when you multiply, you will multiply this way first. So that will give you 16x squared. Then you multiply this way, that gives you plus 4x. Then you multiply this way, that is 12 fours, 48x. And this way, that is minus 12. Now this you can do in your mind as well. Therefore now that we have cross multiplied, we should take all the terms one side. Now I'm not going to take the RHS, that is right hand side, this side, because you will have then x squared becoming minus. So I'm transferring all the terms on the left hand side on the right. So I'll have 0 equal to 16x squared minus x squared plus minus 13x, and here I'm going to write as minus 44x and minus 12. So I have taken these terms here this side and I now am going to simplify this and it's going to giving you 15x squared minus 57x if you add this and this and minus 12. So now you will have the product. Now product is going to be minus 12 into 15. So minus 12 into 15. And because the product is minus, you will get difference here and difference is minus 57. So if I want the working for this, I must have a number bigger than 57 because the difference is 57. So one of the numbers is bigger than 57. Now you can also do this way. This is 6 into 2 and this is 5 into 3. So you will see one of the numbers is going to be bigger than 57. So I'm taking all big ones together. So 5 6 is 30 and 32 60. So I'm going to take 60 and 3, the difference will be 57. So what are my factors? My factors are 60 and 3. But because this is minus sign here, for this 57 difference is minus sign, and so you will have bigger number getting minus sign and the product is negative, so this term is going to be positive. Now double check. If you multiply this, do you get minus product? Yes. If you take the difference, do you get minus 57? Yes. And so these are our factors. So you get 0 equal to 15x squared minus 60x plus 3x minus 12. And therefore you will have 0 equal to, now we'll group these. And this will give us 15, yes. 15x is dividing both. And here 15 is common, x is common, so 15x we've written here. From here 15x is gone, only x remains, and minus 15 into 4 gives you 60, so you will have minus 4 remaining, x is already out, plus here you will have 3 as common and you'll have x minus 4. And therefore you'll have 0 equal to x minus 4 into 15x plus 3. So you will have therefore x minus 4 equal to 0 or 15x plus 3 equal to 0. That will give us 15x is equal to minus 3, and here we'll get x equal to 4 or x equal to minus 3 upon 15. Now, our assumption is our positive fraction. Our positive fraction is x upon 4x plus 1. So this particular value, negative, is not to be considered. It's not applicable since our fraction is positive fraction, and therefore you will have, therefore the fraction is equal to x upon 4x plus 1, and so that is 4 upon 4 into bracket 4 plus 1, which is equal to 4 upon 16 plus 1, which is equal to 4 upon 17, and this is our positive fraction and that is our answer. So you see that from quadratic equations we do have number problems. To begin with, we start with number problems, and this is the last one of the number problems. In my next video, I'll talk about the next type of quadratic equations number problems. Thank you for watching.